Lock in. Find a man, guys.
Dude, I'm trying.
Like, you're telling somebody, you're like, oh, fuck, I need a man. And they're in a relationship, and they're like, you don't need a man to be happy. And I'm like, okay, you know what?
My sister.
You know what's crazy? It might help. Did you guys consider that? What's wrong with, like, what is wrong with you? What's your problem?
Your problem is that you have a man already, so
Does your man not make you happy? Fine, break up with him then. We just start over.
Yeah.
Guys, this week I'm going to be defending myself because we're reading Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. This book has sparked some controversy among TikTok. I've seen people, yeah, I feel like it's, people either really love it or it's in their like worst Booktok book I've ever been recommended.
Oh, interesting.
Would you say it's the worst Booktok book you've ever been recommended?
I would certainly not say it's the worst.
Did you like it?
Yes, I did like
Okay,
it.
okay.
Yeah, I liked it. It's been a while since we read it, like the first time, but I really enjoyed it. And I also was doing, I mean, I think it's clear by now, I always do like Audible and, you know, actually reading the book. And I enjoyed it in both. In both formats. Yeah, it was good.
The audiobook was good. You will almost never hear me saying an audiobook was good, to be honest with you. This episode is going to be a little different than our normal book report style. We're just going to be gossiping about this today.
Yeah.
I'm just going to be defending myself because this book changed my life. This book made me realize I was gay. No, I'm kidding.
But actually, it's not funny, is it?
No, it's actually not funny. Trigger warning for homophobia, and I'm just going to get into the story. So if you've never heard of Red, White, and Royal Blue, first of all, there's going to be spoilers. Second of all, I feel like everybody and their mother has read this book already.
Yeah.
Or at least knows what it's about.
I mean, it's a movie already on Amazon Prime, so...
That's true, and I have thoughts about the movie.
I haven't watched it because I'm scared too.
I mean, it's fine because I love Nicholas Galantine. Really shocking new information that nobody knows about me. I actually keep that fact, like, really secret about me. Like, yeah, I know.
Wow. Thanks for sharing that. Like,
I know.
I feel like I'm closer to you now.
It's hard for me to open up about it.
I know.
The way that I find him so hot.
Yeah, right.
But, and Taylor Zakhar Perez, and Uma Thurman is in that movie, weirdly. Anyway, but it's just nothing like the original story at all, so.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
I love it when they butcher the original text.
Yeah, but I mean, like, they're really hot.
Right. So, the guy from, I forget his name, the one from Kissing Booth.
Taylor Zakhar Perez, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's fine.
And
he's fine in that movie, and everybody was making fun of him, being like, Nicholas Galantine is eating him up. I was like, guys, I don't think so. I think they're both fine.
No, like...
And I think they're both doing an okay job with the material that they've been given.
Right. Like, what can we do?
At the end of the day, this is a romance between the Prince of England and the first son of the United States.
Like, we can only do so much.
Whatever that means.
Right.
I've never heard the term first son of the United States.
Right.
And I think most people feel, I think the reason that people feel like this, it's just kind of like, it is just silly.
Yeah.
You know, it is silly to consider that the Prince of England and, is it the Prince of England? Is that even the right term? It doesn't sound right at all.
The Prince of England. So, I mean, I feel like that's correct, but like, it doesn't sound weird.
Right
it sounds weird as fuck.
But it is very silly. But I'm gonna defend it with my life today.
Oh yeah, this is like your favorite book. I've always known 2 things about you. Well, 3 things. You love Red, White, and Royal Blue. You love The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and you want to ride Nicholas Galantine.
Nicholas Galantine, please hit my line. Please give me a chance. Just one.
She'd be a ride you wouldn't survive.
Yeah.
That's how much
I'm gonna break your back.
And those...
I'm gonna blow your back out.
Yeah. Please. And those are 3 things I know about you. So I'm ready to hear, you know, you defend yourself against the people.
Yeah, so the story is basically just the love story between the 2 of them, and the B plot is his mom needs to get reelected for president, because Casey McQuiston wrote this. This was published in 2019, so I imagine she probably started writing it right after that election in 2016.
Yeah.
And I don't know, at the time, I read this in 2021, so right after COVID. I feel like historical context was very important there. It was really nice, especially at that time. And maybe now, like maybe reading it for the first time now in 2025, given everything that's going on right now, it might feel like, wow, this is a much better reality to imagine.
Yeah.
But now instead, you know, we voted Trump in again. So now it's kind of like, well, I think I should,
Well,
Just
frankly,
killed the vibes.
Yeah. I mean, that's actually a good point.
But historical context is important there. It was like, it was nice to imagine a world in which,
That
first of
never
all,
happened.
no COVID happened.
Yeah.
And, because it was taking place in 2020, obviously no COVID, because it was published in 2019.
Right.
Obviously. So it was nice to imagine a world where not only was there no COVID, but there was no Trump as president.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Would have loved that. And it's a nice escape.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, like, I can totally see where she was coming from when she came up with this.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna I'm gonna try to keep this episode a little bit shorter than the rest of our usual episodes, so if I forget to mention something, you'll just have to forgive me on this.
Yeah.
But there are just some important events that I want to touch on.
Yeah.
Things that I thought were just really sweet. So the book starts out, the whole inciting event of the book is Alex goes up to Henry while he's this is so mean, while he's champagne drunk at a wedding.
And who isn't champagne drunk at a wedding?
He says in the book here, there's a champagne tower.
That is my dream, to like make my way through a champagne tower. To work my way through it.
One thing I love about brunch is bankrupting the place.
Right.
With the amount of champagne that I consume.
If you own a brunch restaurant, don't let us come there. If you see my name on the resi, just close for the day, because we are gonna run y'all dry.
One time when I was at my favorite place in Arlington, they did run out. They fully ran out of champagne while I was there.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was because of me, but I certainly didn't help.
No, like the lady who's always that sweet woman who's always our waitress. She hates us. Like, and every time she's like, "We're closing."
She sees us and she's like, I should have called out today.
No, literally. She's like, she's texting her friend who's our equivalent, and she's like, I really wish I called out today.
I thought about
fucking
God.
Yeah.
But I actually really like this scene because they actually get into like a little tussle, and it's an actual argument, which my favorite trope is enemies to lovers. Do you have a favorite trope?
I don't know if I have a favorite trope, honestly.
My favorite trope is enemies to lovers, and I fear that term is getting applied to too many things.
Yeah.
Like, I was told that Icebreaker was gonna be, I just bring that book up so much, but I was told that Icebreaker was gonna be enemies to lovers.
That's not enemies to lovers.
That was, he's in love with her and she's
a bitch.
his ass.
Yeah. She hates his ass and he's just constantly nice to her.
No, like, I want them to hate each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I see why that's your fave. You know. I feel like I don't have a fave. Between enemies to lovers and friends to lovers, I feel like I don't have a particular, like...
That's crazy. I feel like you like friends to lovers a little more.
You think?
Just, I mean...
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, anyway, and the setup for the romance is that the president is like, well, this simply cannot do.
Right.
I'm the president of the United States.
Right.
They're gonna think that England doesn't want to trade with us anymore because you knocked the wedding cake over. They're gonna think that.
We're gonna get bombed. We can't have that. So
England is going to bomb us.
Yeah, so we need to stop that in its tracks.
Over a wedding cake.
Right.
So you simply must go over to London and just like hang out with him a little bit.
Yeah.
Just like flirt with him a little bit.
The Prince of England.
Is it so hard to flirt with him a little bit?
Right.
Girl, he's blonde.
He's blonde, he's cute.
You love a blonde
He
boy.
has an accent and he's tall. Just go over there, photo op y'all flirting, and come home.
What's
it's not
funny,
that much to ask for.
What's funny is that his mom kind of set this up.
She kind of did.
Like, girl, what did you think was gonna happen? You sent me over there with this hot man.
No,
You sent me over to see the prince and he's hot?
And he... bye. Like,
yeah, no, like...
he's 6 foot something, weight starts with 2. Girl, you set me up. I was bound to fall in love.
Already? I don't even know him yet. I'm already on the edge of my puss.
Just based on the stats, I'm on the edge of my puss. Like,
but they have a good time when they're in London. They're flirting this whole time. They get pushed into a closet together.
Ooh.
Girl, the tension is so thick. And
yeah.
Henry finally, I don't want to say comes out, because he doesn't really formally come out to him at this point, but on New Year's Eve, he sees Alex, who's, I don't know if I said this, but that's the first son of the United States. And if that's your first time hearing that term, me too. I've never heard that term before in my life.
In essence, it makes sense, but it's just like reading it.
Never heard that in my
I was
life.
like,
I'm not sure anybody's, but it's so funny because not only are they using that term in the book, but also like the newspaper's using it.
Yeah.
He's calling himself that.
Yeah.
Like people on Twitter are calling him that. I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't think you could get the entire country on board with that.
Yeah. I mean, in essence, yes, that's what it's called, but it's like, I don't know how often they're being referenced for it to be like in our everyday vocab.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Anyway. New Year's Eve. Alex kisses another girl at the party, and Henry is like, this simply cannot stand.
Yeah. I gotta leave.
No,
I must leave. Actually, so mean.
No, he's like,
one thing about me, I'm gonna go
around. Yeah. One thing about me, I'm either not gonna come or I'm gonna go.
I'm leaving.
I'm leaving. You pissed me off for the last time.
Yeah, no, he literally charters a helicopter down to the White House.
No, he's like, you've kissed your slut for the last time.
Oh, fucking Jezebel.
Like, stop being a slut. I'm going home.
But Alex chases him out there, obviously. And he's like, I don't even know he's like thinking to himself, he's like, I don't even know what I'm doing out here. I don't even know why I care about him. Girl, you love him.
You love him.
Don't get serious. You love him. He's hot and sexy. Of course you love him. He's hot and sexy.
Right.
And he follows him out there and they share just like one little kiss, one little slight makeout.
Steamy little quick makeout. Ooh.
And then he ghosts him. The tension was so thick, I swear to God.
That kiss was good.
It had me stressing out.
Yeah.
Like, I was genuinely stressed. And then not only that, but it gets worse because Henry just starts ignoring him.
No, you're not supposed to me.
Do you know how badly I would have wanted him if I was Alex? Like, I think they would have had to surgically remove me from the floor.
You would have to surgically remove me from the red eye that's going out tonight to London because I'm going to see you whether you want to or not.
No, like, you can't... No, like,
it's too late, guys.
You can't kiss me under the moonlight and then leave and then not talk to me.
No.
Are you
getting
crazy?
ghosted is what... First of all, actually, speaking of getting ghosted, have you seen that fucking video of Bella Hadid?
Oh, I thought you were gonna ask me if I've ever been ghosted, and I was gonna be like, me? No, never.
No, okay, well, the video of Bella Hadid is her on Chicken Shop Date, which I love that show.
And she's like, I've never been ghosted. Yeah, if I look like Bella Hadid, probably not either.
That shit pissed me off so bad. Not because it's shocking, but because I was like,
can't you just lie?
Right.
Can you just makes anybody feel them? Like, I just...
Of course you haven't been ghosted, but to hear it out of your mouth, like, I'm gonna kill myself.
I know. Sabrina Carpenter is one of the girls for sure because she's in all of her songs. She's like, nobody wants me. It's so weird. I'm so hot and nobody wants me. Yeah. And it's like, that's so true. She is so hot. If she's getting ghosted, I'm not the problem.
Look, the thing is,
we just need to start hitting men with sticks.
Around the world, women are just fucking beautiful.
Getting dogged on.
And getting dogged on. Beautiful and getting dogged on. Hot and getting dogged on. Like, at this point, what can we do?
We did watch Leah get dogged on all of last season by a man that wears overalls.
Case in point, that shit.
And not only that, can you imagine if I'm Leah?
Overalls with no shirt underneath.
If I'm leaving the villa, I got dogged on by a man wearing overalls, and then on top of that, everybody's on his side for no reason.
No, but that she left with a better man, so let's just, in my opinion.
I've never seen this season. I just know that he dogged on her really bad.
Oh yeah, no, she didn't leave. She was in the finale.
Oh no, I know.
Hottie!
No, I know. And they're still together. But she's gorgeous.
Yeah. Anyway.
He's like, yeah, no, fuck that. And the next time he sees Henry. Oh! He pulls Henry into the red room. Oh yeah. And which is, I guess, a room in the White House. I don't know.
They said red room, and I was like, whoa, when did we get into 50 Shades?
I don't know. Not Lincoln had the 50 Shades room. But he pulls him into the red room. I think it's just a room that's painted red and there's like, I don't know, a candlestick in there. I don't know. I've never been there.
I don't frequent.
I've been invited, but you know.
Yeah.
I just can never find the time.
Yeah.
Pulls him into the red room and they like literally make out on top of a table.
Oh my god.
And Alex is like kind of yelling at him the whole time. Yeah, there's a certain point where you just have to put the book down. Or else it's gonna be covered in like a goo.
Jesus.
Or else my book is about to be covered in goo. Jessica!
No way.
You guys are making out. But like they're also arguing, it was so sexy.
No, it was. It was really good. Like that scene was really good. I feel like I was listening to that.
We're like already in tears.
I feel like I was listening to it on the train and I was like,
tears?
Yeah, I was like, I have a secret. No one knows. In my ears, there's something crazy happening.
And what's crazy is that there's no, like, it's not a graphic smut scene.
Yeah.
But it was graphic in my mind.
Oh my god, I was adding things all over the place.
I'm emailing them, like, can I make an edit to your book?
Additional scene, please.
Is it possible? beautiful.
You're gonna catch me on Wattpad soon.
So they have like kind of there's another intimate scene of him
Yeah.
like of them like in Alex's bedroom.
Yeah.
And it's hot. It's just graphic enough too because
Yeah.
there's no use of the word cock
Thank God.
or balls.
balls.
There's no use of the word cock and or balls.
Yeah.
On my God-saken Kindle.
Yeah.
What's the word?
Godforsaken.
No, like when it's like protected. On my Christian Kindle.
My Christian Kindle? What is that? Like, you lost me. I'm not there with you. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, the words cock and balls are not Christian.
They're not. They're not in my Bible.
Yeah.
And thank God they weren't in this book either. Because sometimes, you're right, this book did have scenes that were like, for me, were just like just enough. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes it can just go so over the top. I'm looking at you, Anna Huang. And, yeah. And sometimes it's just too much.
Yeah.
And this is like a nice balance.
Sometimes you need it, other times you don't.
Yeah.
Other times this is more than enough.
Yeah.
Because honestly, if I'm having a really particularly bad week, I open this book and I go and I read that scene and I think, I will find someone one day. And it will feel like this one day.
Never end your shit. Like, things are looking up.
Like, is it gonna be soon? No.
No.
No, not
definitively, damn. Is it gonna be soon? We never know.
Well, I mean, I know. Is it gonna be soon? No. I think
You'll never know.
I think it's better for me to not be optimistic anymore.
Oh.
No, there's no reason for things to be covered in goo.
You gotta stop with your goo. You gotta stop with your goo. It is painting such a picture and I don't want it.
Well, that's why I need to just say, hey, it's not gonna happen for me anytime soon. Put the goo away.
Right. Pack it up. I can't. The thing is also like, well, yeah, I think also it's a thing where like when the writing is
really
good,
cry.
I know. When the scenes are like the non-smut scenes are good, well written, and there's enough tension, the smut doesn't have to go over the top. You know what I mean? So you can tell.
Because you start adding you close the book, you just kind of
Yeah. I wish it went on longer.
Yeah, adding scenes in your mind. But sometimes when you're reading a smut scene, you see the word cock and balls and it's like, well, now I just feel icky.
Yeah, like I didn't want to see that. I didn't want to read the word.
Why is she deep-throating him?
Right.
This is
like,
a book for women.
Why is she getting tied up in the fucking reindeer barn? I'll never let that go.
Where are the reindeer in the reindeer barn?
Yeah,
Anyways.
like, I can't.
But also, on a serious note, I do think while he in these early scenes where he's like obviously some kind of queer because he's attracted to Henry, he's enjoying these intimate moments, he's like, well, I just don't get it because I've never felt attracted to a boy before, except for the time that like maybe I was kind of in love with Henry when I was a kid, and also I guess I did kind of have a boyfriend in high school, I guess, kind of, which I feel like is actually kind of a very bisexual / gay. I feel like a lot of queer people have had relationships with people in their lives and they look back and they're like, that wasn't really a platonic relationship.
Yeah.
I guess I shouldn't be so shocked that now I'm feeling these romantic feelings for somebody else. And I just thought it was very relatable and very well spoken, and also I think just a casual way to bring up how confusing sexuality can be are so normal, even if you have you feel like you have no internalized homophobia yourself. It's totally normal to still not be okay with you potentially not being straight.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I really liked it.
Yeah. I mean, I think reading it as well, it was very sweet and like you said, I think true to a lot of people's experience. Like, I was reading that whole part about him, like, thinking back to his, like, high school friend or whatever, and I was like, sweetie, aw. Like,
and it's so funny because, like, we as readers get more details about this relationship, because it's like, the first time he brings it up, I guess we did kiss once, and then it
slowly devolved into, like,
more and more sexual experiences.
And then we're like, oh, baby,
I mean, honey.
Yeah, honey.
But lots of queer people have those experiences,
which is why it's like sweet to kind of read it and be like, okay, he's figuring out slowly, like, oh, I see now that.
Yeah, and I think that's like a very important conversation to have.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed reading his kind of thought process there.
a lot of people have different relationships with coming out. You know what I mean? And like it can be, especially for them being like public figures and like really, you know, in the media a ton, and the fact that they're sharing a relationship and they're both public figures. It's like, it's one thing to be like, okay, I'm coming out, but I'm like seeing someone who was just like, you know, someone I met at my college or my school. Yeah. But like to come out and be like, I'm also dating the Prince of England.
Yeah, if you're gonna come out, you gotta come out.
That's a lot. It's a lot to take on. So.
And there are just so many scenes of them just having like such, oh my god. So they have so many romantic scenes. Like they go to Paris together. Like they'll be in hotels in New York, sucking and fucking hard. And it's like, but we don't get a ton of the sucking and fucking. It's just little tidbits. And they're making me horny.
Yeah. I think that's the thing too. It's like when it's
their tension and their relationship was so romantic.
Yeah.
And I love Enemies. This is exactly why I love Enemies to Lovers too. Is that like we get this like really tense, steamy scene there at the beginning in the red room, but then they start to fall in love after, and I'm like, when will it be me?
When is it gonna be my turn to get kissed on the table in the red room?
I've been asking for that.
No, like, I'm putting out feelers every day, and no one's taking me out.
Frankly, I live in DC. One of y'all has access to the red room. Figure it out, and quickly.
No, because
if Donald Trump walks in, he's like, what's going on? Why was it so good? You were so good at that. You know what I thought to myself when Trump won the election? I was like, God damn it! It's like 4 more years of every man you know doing a Trump impression.
No, like,
and I can't do it.
It's 4 more years of just like, oh my god, I can't.
Your Trump impression's not funny. Mine is. Yours is. But yeah, I love Enemies to Lovers so much. But like I said, there's also kind of this B plot going on of like his family, and I just would like to bring up. I'm not going to bring up his. Because frankly, I want to talk about the sucking and the fucking more than I want to talk about anything else.
Duh.
Unfortunately, I don't care that much about the election. What if I said that?
The election in the book, yeah.
Yeah. I was like, I'm not really that pressed about it.
No, who gaff?
Not when there's a blonde prince who allegedly looks like Nicholas Galitzine.
Allegedly. Right?
I'm very busy.
Yeah. I'm doing things. Like, I'm catching your red eye.
You cannot comprehend.
No, like, I actually am dropping out of college.
But, but he does have this very close relationship with his sister, who is, I think she's supposed to be like around 23, 24. And she's still living in the White House because she feels like she has to be there to protect Alex. I don't know why she thinks this, because Alex is literally always like, go live your life. I don't really need you here.
Yeah, I mean, he's like pretty grown.
Yeah, and she's like, well, you're immature. And it's like, well, you're not really helping him be more mature by being here. Yeah, like...
He's supposed to be 20, right?
He's supposed to be 22 because he's graduating college.
Okay, yeah, so like, girl, you don't need to be here to like monitor my every movement.
Yeah, like, you're 1 year older than me. You're 1 or 2. And the thing is it's not really that like she's there. That's her choice, of course. Yeah. But don't hold it against me.
Right.
And then on top of that, they have plans for dinner one night, and she basically is like, what is going on with you? Like, when were you going to tell me about this thing with Henry? Basically forces him out of the closet.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, I didn't know you knew about that. And he was like, and she was like, well, I didn't until just now, but you told Nora, his friend, and not me.
Yeah, girl.
It's got nothing to do with you, girl.
Yeah, I'm gonna come out to everyone on my own time.
And you know what's crazy? You're gonna be the last one that I tell now after this. Just out of spite.
Right.
You're pissing me off.
Period.
Yeah.
You're pissing me off.
She was pissing me off this whole book, and then she actually gets cut from the movie, probably because she was pissing so many people off. I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
don't know. I don't know why she was cut.
Also, like, you can kind of conflate her and the best friend, to be honest. Like, they can become one character.
Yeah.
That's no shade, no tea. It's just, like, they're not as important to me as, like, the sucking and fucking.
No, like... And then they're going to, like, political conventions together, and it's so hot and sexy because he'll go out and he'll be, like... He'll be doing his public figure thing. And can you imagine, like, being a graduate from fucking Georgetown and then going out and speaking to a crowd and everybody's obsessed with you and everybody loves you?
Yeah.
And then you're, like, slaying. And then on top of that, you get to go home and fuck your hot-ass fucking boyfriend.
Yeah. And, like, nobody...
In a hotel at that. I
would penthouse suite in the hotel.
I would do anything to fuck in a hotel right now.
It's also like the fact that it's the penthouse suite, you know.
Wait, pause. You know how I should have known that I was not into my last boyfriend? One time we did stay in a hotel together and we only had sex one time. That's crazy.
Yeah, I've had that experience as well.
you can go crazy in a hotel, and if you're only having sex once, you don't like that person. That's a rule.
Play on the law. That's the rules. Yeah, I mean, that's for sure. Something about being in a hotel, like, it just changes the vibe. Like, I don't know what it is.
No, because I'm gonna start banging on the walls so the neighbors know we're fucking. But in your apartment, it's like, well, I don't want my neighbors to picture me doing that.
Right, but like at a hotel, like, it's a lawless land. All bets are off.
Yeah.
We're fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
Like,
we're fucking in the... Frankly, I kind of want to fuck you in the elevator right now.
No, low key.
Yeah.
So it's like, if we're not... And also, like, in this book, too, it's like, it's a secret,
Well, he was
obviously.
pissing me off, too, because I wanted him to watch Survivor Token Chains and he wouldn't.
What the fuck?
Token Cheese is one of the best seasons.
Bro. Do you not know about Fishback?
Like...
You need to know the fucking lore.
Did you not take, like, Survivor 101 in college? Like, you need to lock in.
Lock in. What the fuck? And, yeah, that's one, humiliating, and two, annoying. And three...
Well, obviously I don't want to have sex with you if you don't want to watch Survivor Token Chains. You're
Like-
just media illiterate.
Please. But yeah. I think also it's like...
No, but it's not funny, is it?
It's serious.
Yeah.
And the thing is also, like, their relationship is like a secret too, and I love a secret like relationship. The secret of it all makes it even more cute because it's like they'll both be at the same like convention, and like he's staring at Henry in the audience, and they're like, you know, having a flirtatious smile, and no one knows they're going upstairs in 10 minutes to fuck. God damn.
Okay, if anybody has a brother or a friend that they know and they would like to leave their phone number in the comments below, I will contact them.
You're so done. If anybody has a brother, you're done.
Anybody. His mom is still up for re-election during all of this. And I think one of the biggest criticisms of this book is that it is kind of giving like 2016 liberal, like, yes, she can vote the orange man out.
Yeah.
You know, just go to the polls and things will be better if you just go vote. You know,
Yeah.
a very kind of privileged liberal belief.
Yeah.
But he does have this fun argument with one of his coworkers because his coworkers one of his coworkers is like, well, maybe if they weren't so red in bumfuck Louisiana, we wouldn't be in this mess right now. And like, you act all high and mighty because you have your college degree and you're working on a presidential campaign and you think you're better than all of these people who maybe don't have as good opportunities.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, these racist people are not uneducated people. A lot of them are just hateful, evil people with a lot of power and a lot of degrees.
Yeah.
And it's important to everybody to not ignore the red states and to help them get some better education and stop the hate at its source.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
He has, and I think it's a very, I think they kind of chewed.
No, yeah.
I was like, yeah, period. Because I feel like they're kind of acknowledging how the book might be coming across as kind of, just go to the polls.
Very idealistic.
Yeah. I think they're kind of acknowledging it in that way because, you know, I mean, look at where we are now.
Yeah. Yeah. Who would have thunk it, for real?
Apparently a lot of people thunk it. Imagine my shock. I was pretty shocked.
I honestly wasn't that shocked, but
should
like...
never be shocked when it comes to America.
Honestly.
And it's racism and misogyny knows no bounds.
No, truly. But yeah, I agree. I feel like that was also very important because also it's important to note that he is, he's biracial also. And so he's not like a completely white, you know, privileged man. I mean, he is a privileged man at the end of the day, but he still faces certain prejudices because of his race. And so he has that hindsight also as a character.
Well, and he's also from Texas, and that one of his main subplots is that he's kind of building this binder and this campaign plan to be able to flip Texas. Yeah. But I thought it was interesting. I was like, I appreciate that they're kind of acknowledging how it can be taken.
Yeah.
And kind of making it clear where they stand.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know, I think it's kind of period.
Yeah. I think that's kind of period.
I think that's kind of period.
Yeah, me too.
But things are about to get bad.
Uh-oh.
And we know I'm not a fan of a third act breakup.
Yeah.
Talk about a third act breakup that actually had merit, in my opinion, and actually made me feel upset for them, because Zara finds out about Alex and Henry, and she's like, I love you, babe, and I don't want to out you, but I will if I have to, because ultimately the presidency is on the line.
Bro, fuck you.
Fucking crazy. So he's like, okay, well, I guess I'm gonna tell her, because it's better than getting outed, I guess.
Yeah.
And he does, and his mom is nice about it, you know? She's like, I accept you and I love you, make sure you're using condoms, but also, you're not fucking up my campaign.
She says, yeah.
She was like, if it was anybody else, I'd let you do it, and I'd let you stay on the campaign, but unfortunately this is a gross misuse of government funds, I fear. So,
right. You're taking
you're taking like Air Force One to get there. So unfortunately, this isn't coming back to me.
Yeah, this is gonna look really bad on our
That's for damn sure.
Yeah, no.
And the thing is that like this third act breakup here is kind of like, yeah, I mean, I hate to say this, but like the reason that this third act breakup feels natural, necessary, and also made me feel sad, and also made me wonder if they were actually going to end up together in the end, because I feel like it could have gone either way. Obviously, it's a romance novel, so it didn't, but I felt like for once, I was like, this isn't a miscommunication, this isn't a breakup where people are just getting scared of their own feelings, although Henry does, and I'll get there in a second, but this is real life that could potentially get in the way of this relationship, because like you said, they're both public figures. So I don't know, this third act breakup was hard for me, but that's the first homicide. Second homicide. He's like, okay, well, I'm sad, so I'm gonna go on a trip with Henry and Nora and June to Texas. We're gonna go to the lake, and we're just gonna chill out because of this homicide.
Yeah.
Double homicide, he tells Henry he loves him. Henry's like, ugh.
Ooh. Bye, babe.
Well, I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
Ghosts him.
Radio silence. I would not recover.
No, yeah. Yeah.
You would never hear from me again.
Yeah. And what's funny is that Alex is like, what's crazy is that you can't just do that.
No, he literally is like, hey, babe.
He shows up at the castle. The castle. And, and stands outside, the palace. The Buckingham Palace. He stands outside a fucking Buckingham Palace, and he's like,
hey queen. You thought that you were gonna run away from me.
He's literally standing outside the palace doors, screaming and yelling, and Henry opens the door, and he's like, God damn.
No, like, I purposefully ghosted you. You cannot show up here and be like, we're gay.
I ghosted you.
Yeah, like,
accept it. And Alex is like, you're not gonna fucking ghost me. And you know what? Yeah, no. I need to start doing that. I'm gonna start doing that. If you ghost me on a first date, you think you can ghost me? What's crazy is that I'm outside your window.
Ghosting is literally the meanest thing you could possibly do to someone, in my opinion. I think it's awful and mean and so just not nice. Like, it is so not nice. Have the fucking balls to be like, hey, it's not working out for us. I don't see you, whatever. Just, just have some fucking balls. Just have some. And in this situation, like, you could, oh my God. Saying I love you to someone and then having them turn around and just, like, go radio silent. Like, when I tell you radio silent, he would be outside the palace. No, yeah. He woke up the next morning. Henry has gone back to England, left a note. Bro, fuck you. You thought. We are in way too deep for that. Mm-hmm. Are you kidding?
I will say, I love you does streak the fear of God into me. I too charter planes to get out of there when people say I love you. If I had a plane to charter, I would for sure.
You would also take Air Force One.
Just to get out of there.
Yeah. You would definitely misuse the government funds.
I would.
Yeah.
I don't know about you. What do you think? Okay, now we're just going to go off topic for a second. Bear with me. How long do you think is an appropriate amount of time before you say I love you?
I would give it like several months.
Several? I feel like 6 is where you need to give me at least 6 months.
I've only been in love once, and I would say that we started talking initially, let's say in like September, and then, we started dating in like March, April, and then I said I love you in like September. Mm. That's like 5-6 months.
Yeah. Okay.
A handful of months, I think, is appropriate.
Because after my last boyfriend said I love you after 3 weeks, I've been pondering to myself, I know that 3 weeks is, I don't want to say it's definitely too soon. It's definitely too soon for somebody like me who would rather charter Air Force One and
Right.
misuse government funds to
Right.
say I love you, then say I love you.
Right.
But I was thinking, like, what would have been acceptable to me?
I think
I don't know.
I think it really is a case by case situation.
Because I did hate him. On top of that,
Right. And like the thing is, like, what if you meet like the love of your life and it's just like some people are literally have that experience.
That's
where
true.
it's like
If I meet Nicholas Galitzine, what's gonna be crazy is I'm gonna say I love you the second he puts the tip in.
right.
I'm gonna say it just to say it.
Just to fuck around. Just to fuck around. Why
And
not?
He for sure has a PJ, so he's like, all right, boys, let's land it.
He's like, boys, get the fucking PJ ready.
To bring it back to the book, what I was thinking about this is that I was like, it takes them a long time and a lot of very romantic, like, weekend getaways to say I love you.
Yeah.
Casey McQuiston, you're chewing.
No,
Casey
like,
McQuiston, you're chewing.
yeah.
Because I know some romance authors that love an insta-love.
Yeah.
And they try to force an insta-love on me,
Yeah.
somebody who would rather misuse government funds and say I love you after.
Right, exactly.
So, trying to force that on me, it's like, I don't
Yeah.
like your book anymore.
Also, I will say, like, you are so right. The third act breakup, you know we hate third act breakup here.
Mhm.
The third act breakup here is
There
like,
were real
well
stakes
done.
to it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There are actual stakes to it. There's a real life scenario in which they cannot be together. And also, because on Henry's side, like, his grandmother is, like, boots homophobic.
Mhm.
Like, so bad.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck that lady.
Well, triple homicide. Goddamn, Alex cannot catch a fucking break.
No, that ass.
Triple homicide, photos of Henry and Alex leak. This whole time, they've been sending emails, very romantic emails back and forth there's poetry in there, and there's references to, like, gay figures throughout history.
Yeah.
Gay and queer figures throughout history. Casey,
So beautifully done.
Casey, you chewed.
So beautifully done.
Casey, you chewed.
Oh, I forgot about those letters.
Yeah.
Oh, those were so
Yeah.
beautifully done.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
my god.
Yeah.
Those were,
Yeah.
oh my god, those literally sent me into like a spiral. There's something about like a handwritten letter or like even just like an email, like, but that someone took the time to write something beautiful to you.
Every time I've handwritten a letter to a man, they crash out bad when we break up. That's guys' hack. If you love a man and you want him to stay, write him a handwritten love letter. They love that.
I
for
can
some reason.
attest that doesn't work.
Well, it's worked for me a few times.
So for my first Christmas with my ex, I compiled a list of like all of our songs, like all of our songs that remind me of him and like songs that we like shared together, and then I commissioned someone to make artwork, and then I put it into a vinyl. So I got all the songs put onto a vinyl record, and I got the record like printed out with the artwork that I got made, and I gave it to him with like a 6-page front to back letter listing like why each song is in the thing, and like with like a whole paragraph about like why it's so important to me and us. And he got me a picture of us in a frame that didn't even have the CVS sticker pulled off
You
of
didn't
it.
pull it off.
No. But, you know, we dated for another 3 years after that, so who's really to blame here but myself?
No, he is. And when I see him, he should be wary of sticks. I'm going to hit him.
Look
with
out for big sticks. No, like...
No, the thing is like,
yeah.
if he sees me by myself and you're not with me, it's not going to end well for him that night.
No, I sometimes
If
think
you're
back to
with
that.
me, I fear we must get out of there and quickly.
Yeah.
But if I'm out by myself...
I'll turn a blind eye, babe. The thing is, like, I think back to that
I'm literally like
sometimes.
blind with rage.
Yeah, I think back to that sometimes, and I get so pissed off that, like, I look back and I'm like, go, 19-year-old me did such a romantic, I started making that Christmas gift in September, like in October, September, to give him in December. Like, I spent so much time and wrote him the longest letter, like, pages. But yeah, there's something about, like, a romantic letter that just, like, really does it for me. It's so sweet. I love that. Those were amazing. Casey! You chewed.
They chewed really bad. I was like, you can't do your big one on this one. Unfortunately, how are you going to I don't think any romance novel will ever top those letters. They were so romantic.
Those were really romantic.
And then with the little references to gay figures throughout history, it's like, you guys get each other so much. You guys were made for each other.
Yeah.
Like, you guys are both history nerds.
I love how I really
I need to cut my I need to cut my hair off and eat it.
no, like, there's something.
I mean,
She wants to eat her hair for cereal tomorrow. Like,
I need a dire change in my life, and I don't know what else to do besides eat my hair.
No, it's something also I think it's like really speaks to the fact that Casey McQuiston put a lot of effort into researching stuff for this book, which I always really love when like that attention to detail and like forethought and care goes into your book and your love story, and it shows in the material when you do that.
Yeah, because there are some romance authors right now that, you know, they're in their bag, and I'm not going to fault them, but they're putting out 6-7 books a year. They're not holding a candle to something like this.
No.
That probably took her years to write.
Yeah.
Like years to research and years to write.
Yeah. So I really appreciate that. I will say also, this is how I felt similarly about the previous Abby Jimenez book that we read. What was it called? I can't remember.
Say You'll Remember Me. Go on.
Yes. Yeah, So Don't Remember Me. Watch that. That book also, they didn't have a third act breakup, which I appreciated, but also there was actual stakes in their relationship. Yeah. And I really, really appreciated having that like real world like care and forethought and like attention to like the B plot even, and making it like, okay, there's an actual
making us care enough about the B plot that it affects the A plot instead of it just being a B plot.
Right, and like the whole time I was sitting there like, oh God, I like really don't want them to break up. Please don't break up. I'm upset when they break up. Like, as opposed to any other book where I'm like, they're gonna get back together.
Obviously, yeah, because it's just like a one singular. Everything's been great up until that one singular argument. Obviously, you're gonna get back together.
Right.
The thing is the more they fall in love, the more these conversations about, well, what are we going to do long term come up, foreshadow the third act breakup.
Yeah.
The third act breakup happens, and it's devastating.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was reading it on the train. I was like, I need to just scroll past. I can't
do that.
I can't. I'm getting ghosted enough in my real life.
No.
I don't need to read about a ghosting in a book.
Right, that's like whenever I watch Mockingjay Part 2 and I have to skip through Finnick's death. That didn't happen to me. To me, he just went back home.
Yeah.
He went back home and him and his wife just, they went out of Dodge. They left.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But the book kind of wraps up with, anyways, these emails get leaked, and Alex and Henry basically decide, like, it's out there. We're not going to lie, and we're not going to pretend, and we're not going to hide anymore. It's already out there. There's no point in trying to hide anymore.
Because the queen basically is like, no grandson of mine is going to be queer and out, and if you want to continue to be in this family lineage, you gotta figure it out. You gotta figure something out.
You gotta marry a woman.
Yeah.
You gotta marry a woman and do the whole prince thing.
Yeah, and so mama comes in, and she's like, bitch, I'll kill you. Mm-hmm. And he's like, yeah, get her ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. They like, and then they open the window and like, there's like a whole like.
I will admit, I will give you, when they open the window and like all of London is like cheering them on, I was like, okay, well,
wait a second.
But
we're getting a little bit too like.
But also, I think I can forgive it because I get where they're coming from, especially when you put it in the historical context of this was published in 2019. Yeah. And that she started writing it literally as a direct result of Trump being elected. I think, I'm like, you know, isn't it nice to, yes,
yeah.
Isn't it nice to imagine a world where everybody just gets to be themselves and nobody's homophobic?
Right.
Wouldn't that be nice? Guys, crazy idea, stop being homophobic.
No.
Shocking idea. Nobody's ever had that idea before.
I know. And the thing is, like, in that moment, I remember reading that and being like, what the fuck? And then being like, you know what? Why the fuck not?
Yeah. But also, I think that's kind of, the fact that we're both sitting there being like, well, I don't know. But also, I think is that's a testament to how enjoyable the book itself was and the romance, because we're cheering for them.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like...
Yeah, and like the slightest thing will piss us off.
It's true. We are unfair reviewers. One thing about us.
The slightest thing I'm gonna be like, fuck this book.
Yeah.
Fuck this book.
So I think it's, again, just a testament to her strength in the relationship.
Yeah.
The time that she spent building the relationship really pays off, and
yeah.
I'm willing to forgive this millennial ending that we have here.
Yeah.
Ellen also wins a second term by flipping Texas blue. Again, I was like, okay.
That's not ever happening.
Yeah, I was like, but again, would it not be nice to imagine a world? And again, I think this was pre-2020, and I feel like the world shifted in 2016 when Trump was elected, and then it shifted again in 2020, and then again in 2024.
Yeah.
When you're putting it in the context of this was 2019, Taylor Swift was walking around on stage with a rainbow flag and wearing rainbow outfits and
Harry Styles was doing his big one.
Yeah, like it was just this was the vibe at the time.
Yeah.
Like we all really thought that things were gonna change.
Yeah.
It was the vibe at the time.
It was the vibe at the time. It was the vibe at the time. And so I understand, and again, that's another reason why reading it now, I mean, I read it last year in 2024, but reading it then and reading it now as someone who hasn't read it, if you were to read it now, it's like, okay, yes, I want to imagine this world, and I see that, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna let you have this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna let y'all have this one.
Yeah. Because would it not be nice?
It would be beautiful.
Yeah.
It would be beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how it wraps up.
Yeah.
They obviously and the book ends with them being together, and they get to do some fun like couple press, which is fun.
I know.
And unfortunately, I think I have to read it. I think I've read it in full at least 3 times.
Right.
Probably. I think every summer I get rehooked on Survivor, Heroes vs. Villains every summer.
Yeah.
Without fail. I must watch it at the beginning of the summer.
Yeah. There's something about it. Like you go back to the things you love. Why not?
Yeah, every summer. I think I've read this book every summer since 2021. I think I've watched Survivor, Heroes vs. Villains every summer. Like, it's just the summer vibe is reading this book over and over and over and over again.
Yeah, that's my Christmas vibe with Hunger Games, apparently.
Yeah.
Which is madness.
And then I also read it again after Trump got elected. I think I read up until the Red Room scene, because sometimes I just read the Red Room scene on its own because it's too good.
Yeah.
It's too good.
Yeah. I don't know if there's any book that I have that I've read like so many times. Oh, actually there is.
Well, because to be fair, I'm not like reading and like annotating. Like I'm skipping the parts I don't like.
Yeah, I mean the thing is also like I can't do that. So I have to like commit myself to rereading it again.
And I'm also a big DNFer. So like once I get to the scene that I like the most, I don't want to read the ghosting again.
Right.
You know, so I stop.
Yeah. That's the thing with me. I can't really DNF anything. I have to see it through. I don't know why. I actually need to like learn how to DNF things because I'm forcing myself to read all the Maze Runner books when I did not like them.
Well, you did DNF the Christmas one that we...
I had to put my foot down there. I had to put my foot down with that one. I think that was the start of...
I hated it that much. That's crazy.
That was the start of me growing up, I think. Like being like, I don't have to read this. I'm free of my shackles. I simply don't have to.
My own shackles.
Yeah, I put them on myself, and I was like, I have the key. I can just not do this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's like something to be said about like their story. I mean, also even if you don't like this book or like
if you don't like this book, I don't want to talk to you.
Oh,
I don't respect you as a human being.
I feel like everyone has their book. Whether it be
they'll defend with their life like I'm defending right now.
It's like you, even if it's like the most amazing book you've ever read, like genuinely like it's gonna go down in history or like one of the worst things you've ever read in your life. Regardless, if you love it, I feel like it comes into your life at a certain point where you're like, I love this book, and you'll defend it till your grave. You know?
Yeah, that's this book
for me.
That's this for you. That's this book
But I think just like luckily for you, like it's also just, I think, really good also. So I feel like I gave it like a 4 out of 5, probably, or a 4.5 out of 5. Good. I can't really remember.
You're a higher rater than I am, though.
Yeah.
I'm a big 1-starter.
Yeah.
You're not as much.
Yeah, I'm not as much. I feel like something has to be like actively harmful for me to be like, this is a 1. Because I also just like feel too mean giving people 1s. Like,
I will give certain books 1s.
Yeah.
The book that we're reading next week, guys, lock in. We're reading Problematic Summer Romance, I think it's called.
Yeah.
By Allie Hazelwood. Allie Hazelwood is my nemesis. She is my arch nemesis, and she always gets me.
Yeah, that's God, that's the thing. Even today, I started it like earlier today when I was at work, and I was like, why am I locked in?
But don't worry, we're gonna talk more about it next week. We're not gonna get into it right now.
Yeah,
we'll talk about it next week. Join us next week. See you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.